What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to be doing the disassembly and skiff install of my Brown Yeager version 3. Let's get into it. All right, so we got everything down on the table. If I recall correctly, I believe they increased the size of this pivot and full inlays, but I don't remember the size. So I'm just going to check real quick. No, it is not a T10, but the rest of the hardware is T8. Just going to check that real quick. Yeah, T8. I do recommend Yeehaw bits. The new and improved Yeehaw bits. I do recommend Weehaw bits. Sorry, I'm digging while I'm looking here. Is this? Hold on, I gotta look real quick. Because if it's not here, oh, it's in here. It's in here. I'm sorry. It's been a minute since I had to use another size, guys, so I do apologize. Haven't had to pull this out in forever. I think it's now T15. Oh, 16. Now I can't see. I need a little light on the subject. T15. Yep, T15. Man, been a minute. We're gonna check the skiff size while we're here. We're gonna move this down here because I don't need that to fall off the table while I'm recording. Let's go ahead and try the pivot first, and then we'll disassemble the rest of the hardware. It looks like the pocket clip is what sandwiches this inlay here, and then this one here keeps that inlay in place. So I'm going to try and see if I can disassemble everything from the lock bar side, which is what I do prefer. I do prefer to do that. I would recommend you have a clean set, especially with a knife in this price range, a clean set of bits. You don't want to strip or scratch anything on the knife. That's so weird. Why did it unscrew from this side? I don't like that at all. That is very strange. I do like that it's the captive pivot. I love that. But I'm not thrilled about the fact that it came undone from that side and not the pivot side. Hold on. Ooh. Shallow screws. Good grief. This is a brand new bit. Yeah, I'm not really loving how this is assembled, guys. Not loving that at all. I'm not loving how the screw head is so shallow with a, I mean, I'm using a good bit. I'm just not thrilled about this. Wonder if it just will. Yeah, that is very strange. Anyway, we'll go ahead and take it the rest of the way apart so that you can see what the inside looks like. You're not going to be able to flip that, so it looks like it just unscrews the pivot. Now these screw heads feel nice. Oh, I don't even think you need to take the pocket clip off. It's been a minute, so I do apologize. And honestly, the last Yeager I had on the channel was a loaner. And that titanium hardware, that's nice. That would be probably why it didn't get disassembled. I'm just going to pick it up because I feel like I have better security. Oh, boy, that is in there. So tight. So tight. That's what she said. Okay, well, there's your bearing, and it is definitely looking like a 6mm caged bearing, so it may not even need skiffs, to be completely honest with you guys. It may not need them. So let's just see if this will disassemble. Yeah, it comes right apart. I really don't like the way this pivot is made. Let's get your skiff sizes. We'll clean it up and tune it and everything like that. I'm not going to complain this whole video about that, the way that pivot is designed. It's really, I mean, it's not that big a deal. So I'm assuming this is 6mm pivot, and 6mm by sorry, I'm trying to get the balls in there. 6mm by 1/16. I don't know if I have that size. It's been a minute, guys. 6mm by 1/16. I do have a lot, but I don't keep a ton in inventory because I don't swap out everything. 5 3/16, 5 6mm, 1mm, 5mm, 6mm 1/16. Oh, cool. I have like quite a few of these. That is awesome. All right, well, let's get it get these 5mm 1/16 that are always just sitting in here. 6mm 1/16. I apologize. It looks like those were on the Mayhem. I'm just going to double check the size. I just kind of want to compare them. Yeah, 6mm 1/16 ball. Let me see. I'm just curious. So we'll start at the top of the hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10, and these are 13. So these will be a little tighter together, a little closer. Go ahead and set those to the side and pop those out. So 13 6mm pivots, 1/16 ball. Actually, I'm gonna throw these in here. Oh, and we'll go ahead and cross this out if you guys don't mind for a moment. This is no longer the Mayhem Yeager. That way I can kind of keep track of those. We'll let them dry. In case anyone's wondering, this is the skiff measuring tool over on the same site that you would buy the skiff bearings from. Really easy to find. I'm going to go ahead and clean everything off. I don't think the track needs to be flipped over. Let me see. Can I get them out of there? Yeah, they do come out. And yeah. So let's do, I'm going to do one at a time, guys. Give me a second. I am going to leave a little bit, just a hint of oil on the side that has the track on it. Just so, yeah. I'm going to hit it with just a touch of oil. So I'll show you how I do it. And that is, again, just to keep it from moving around, kind of acting like a suction cup. So just, oh, there it goes. I saw the bubble. Come on, I know you're coming. There it is. Of course I would drop it. Good news is it stayed on the oily side. So just like that, just rubbing it in, taking the track side, dropping it down in there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Man, it's pretty strong on the O-light there. Yeah, flip this back around. All right. So this is the track side. I'm going to use 3 fingers to pinch it. And then I'm just going to, just a little coating like that over there, and then put that side down. And that should keep everything straight. I don't know how much, honestly, this is going to make any type of difference whatsoever. They were ceramic ceramic caged bearings already, and I found that I generally, truthfully, don't see a huge gain from the skiffs. They're going to be more ball counts in there, so it might have been a little bit tighter in the pivot, but with the larger bearings like that, I have never really truly noticed a huge difference. So, you know, it could be the plastic being maybe a little bit softer than the, this is really clean, super clean. What I was saying is it could be that I'm just going to clean the stop pin while I'm here. And I'm doing a lot more detailed cleaning than I probably normally would. Whoop. Here, guys, and I kind of liked where the lock bar is, so I'm not doing too much there. But I know I'm going to push, and I'm just going to check to make sure there's no oil on the lock bar anywhere at all. And if I'm going to be completely honest, I'm just going to put the pivot back in the way that I found it, and I'm just going to reassemble it with the knife on the pivot and then flip it back over to put those 2 body screws in there. I've never quite seen a construction like that. Usually the captive pivot doesn't move, but what it's essentially doing is it's like a Chicago screw reversed. The threading's in here and you're taking the captive top off. But thinking through that, it actually might be better for tuning because this side is always locked in, like it's locked down, and this side is the adjustment side, so you only are having one side that's moving. So for centering, that actually might do better for tuning. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's go ahead and get it back together. I've taken up enough of your time. I just got this in today. I haven't spent any time with my own Yeager. I spent some time with Javier's. I shouldn't probably use his name. My boy. Oh, I almost reinstalled it without putting this back. My friend from Texas lent me his to check out some time back, and I only carried it lightly. I didn't get to really use it like I would if it were my own. So, I'm blanking. Did I put lube on here? I don't see it, and I might have grabbed it with my finger just now when I was putting it back together. What I was saying is it wasn't my knife. It wasn't my knife, so I didn't get to really use it like I would if it were my own. I will carry this. I will do some cutting with it, probably about the same that I do with most of my more premium knives. I don't know that I would do an extensive cut test, but I do want to test the factory edge, and I do want to cut through some stuff to demonstrate how it performs. This doesn't feel like I'm lubing it very well. Did I put too much on here? Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It usually feels like I can notice it immediately. So let me clean my applicator off. I did not do a good job. I cleaned this, right? Yeah. I took sorry. There we go. Don't need too much there. That Hops gun oil does a really good job. And I'm going to flip this over here since I am putting it back together reverse. And we'll go ahead and, try to pick it up without the pivot coming out. I'm just going to push the lock bar out so it can drop into place on that stop pin and be locked out. So that's all I really am going to do. The other bearing. What? I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm just so excited. If you can't tell. So excited. And I hope this helps because I know some people are probably getting their first Yeager. Maybe you've had yours for a little while and you just haven't gotten to the disassembly. It's super simple. The captive pivot is different for me than if you have one of the earlier versions. If you have one of the earlier versions, I'm going to start linking these down below. These are great little finger tools here. It doesn't really matter which way you go, but these are really good for like wedging between the fingers, and they have enough knurling on here to kind of keep in place. So when you go to put them in, they work really well, or you can, throw them like this and still wrap your hand around. So I really do like these. They're very affordable. They're ingenious. I don't even remember how I found those, but back to the knife. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and Sandwich this down. I'm hoping I put enough oil on this to keep it from falling out. And I'm hoping like everything on this side just clamps together since the lock bar is already engaged. Yeah, it's feeling like it's going back together nicely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the body screws. And these are titanium, so they're not, and I have huge fingers. My hands are just so big, I have the hardest time. These are the T8s, right? Yeah, the hardest time dropping these little screws back in, and I'm trying to be careful because I do not want to scratch my brand new knife. There we go. And I just put this fresh T8 in here. The other day I was working on my integral Orpheus Wee knife, and it skipped on me in the pivot because of the shallow machining on the screw head. So that feels good, and this is really nice tight tolerances there. We'll go ahead and drop the captive pivot in the correct way. This is a very unique shape. We're going to push it through so that this is kind of sticking out a little bit. Grab our T10 and just carefully, easily work it back in. Make sure you don't want to cross thread anything. Yeah, it's a super shallow pivot. These shallow pivots are killing me. All right, and back it off a little bit. All right, let's check. Nice action. Nicely centered. No play. Let me see. Maybe I over tightened it. Back it out a little more. That was it was a small turn. I'm not going to try to guess. Nice and smooth. Nice and centered. Detemp feels good. No play. I mean, I'm wrenching on it. There's no play. Nice and smooth. And you know, again, I don't think you need to replace these bearings, but if you find like the action's not that good, sometimes just breaking it down, cleaning it, and putting fresh lube on, and then tuning the pivot, because these are production, may make a difference on what you're seeing with the action. But this feels really nice. Again, properly tuned. I'll keep an eye on it to make sure that pivot doesn't back out. It's a very interesting design. It's a shallow threading. I'd probably like to see the machining on this go as deep as possible. That's what she said. I think that would really go a long ways. I understand the design though, and why you're unscrewing here, but you're watching for this to back out. So don't put your finger over it. It's captive. Just unscrew this until it comes out, and then when it pops out, you can go ahead and take it apart from the show side. It's not going to be that big of a difference. I prefer disassembling from the lock bar side. Again, it's just because it's easier for me for the reassembly, but it's not a big major inconvenience. I hope this helped you guys. Even if you don't have this version, I hope it helped. I don't know what the sizing is going to be like, if it's going to be truly a huge difference on what you're seeing from the version 2 to the version 3, or even from the version 1. Again, I know the captive pivot and the inlays are different. I don't know anything about the sizes because the one that I got to handle was a friend's that sent it into the channel for me to check out, so I didn't take it apart. Shout out to everyone out there that uses the links, likes, comments, and is subscribed. I love you guys. Thank you for all of your support. I hope you have a fantastic week, and until next time, peace.